second video for DIY Christmas games. Bear with me, this one is going to be a little bit longer than the math, but I have some really fun things to show you. Okay, y'all, if you do not hit up the after Christmas sales at stores like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, you have got to start because they have the best stuff. And if you need help coming up with ideas, then I'm your girl. You just let me know. So I got these at Michael's. These were on clearance in the baking section. I don't know what in the world they're supposed to be for. They're silicone. I guess you use them for muffins or cupcakes. I don't know. It's too small for me. My muffins need to be a lot bigger than this. But we use these in our classroom for sight word games, and the kids absolutely love it. They were a 4-pack. It came with 2 red and 2 green, and I believe they were like less than $1, like maybe 80 cents or something crazy like that. And I didn't know what I was gonna do with them, but I just said I have to have these, and I came up with this sight word game. So I tell my kids that they have to build it first, and I teach them to build it with the first letter, because if you teach them to build it backwards, they will start to eventually write it backwards, or if they start with the middle letter, they just don't learn how to spell it correctly by doing that. So I always have them start with the first letter. So obviously this is the word the, so they would spell it T-H-E, and I make them say it. Once you have it spelled and you say it, then you're finished and you can put it in the cup. And that seems so simple, but I'm telling you, it is thrilling. And they get to fill the hot cocoa mug, as they call it, and it's their favorite game ever. And so I just change it out with the different sight words. If they're sight words that my kids have already mastered, this is just a Sharpie. So if you go over it with the dry erase marker, it will rub right off, or use acetone or fingernail polish remover, and you can very easily change the word and use plastic letters or magnetic letters, whatever works for you. If you guys find anything like this and you're not sure what to do with it, send me a picture, drop me a comment, and I'll help you brainstorm and we'll figure something out. Okay, y'all, this is another favorite game that I have just because I love using little cooking utensils and manipulas and things. I'm just all about that. So are my kids. So I hunt down at the dollar stores. They make all these little baking dishes, baking pans, spatulas. You can get all this junk there, you know, and they have them smaller than this. This is just the one that I happen to have at home. But what I do with this is I got this image off of TPT. This was a freebie that somebody was giving away. I've had these things for years. I couldn't even tell you where I got them, but they were blank. And so I just went ahead and printed them, and I wrote in the sight words with a Sharpie. And since they were gingerbread cookies, I let my kids cook them on the baking sheet, and they use a little spatula, they lift them up, and then they match it to the word on the paper plate. And I also make them say it for practice. So they would have to say said and me before they place it on the plate. This is the easiest DIY game. All you have to do is print. If you're able to type in the words, you could do that faster, or you could just write it with a Sharpie. You could do it with snowman cookies, Santas, just whatever. You could just add a text box on an image. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You could do this with, you could write a number here and they match it to the number word. Just whatever your kids need, you can make so many games with this. And I just buy those cheap little Dixie paper plates and just write it with a Sharpie. Depending on the size of your cookies, you might even be able to do 4 if yours are smaller. These were too tall, I only could do 2. But this is the perfect game and your kids will absolutely love it. Okay, y'all, so this next game, I showed you guys these trees in my math DIY video. This was a couple of years ago. They made them a little bit differently. They're a little more pointed. The ones at Hobby Lobby this year are a little more rounded. They're actually a little cuter, but this is what I already had. So what I did is I just used like a Word document and I typed up the sight words. It may look smaller to you, but I mean, the kids can read it. It's not like they need a magnifying glass or anything. But I just hot glued them on here. Hot glue can be your best friend with these things because it's really hard to pop them off. Just be a little generous with your glue and it stays pretty well, even when you're dealing with 5-year-olds. I know y'all have clip art out there. You'll have your favorite clip art, or you know where to get it on TPT. There's tons of freebies. I just typed in the sight words. This is just a matching game. They're putting ornaments on the tree, and it seems so simple, but mine have an absolute blast with this game. So I just typed up the sight word. So they would pick this up and I have them read it first. So they would have to say here, and then they would find it on their tree and cover up the other here, and they're getting to decorate it. I have this in 2 separate games. I'm sure you'll notice that some of my words repeat. I make 2 separate games, and I will put words on there that maybe my students are struggling with. I will put it on each Christmas tree, so no matter which game they get, they are seeing that word, because there are certain words that are a little bit more challenging for them, so I will put those words on there twice. But it's super easy to make, and it's a lot of fun. All right, the last game I want to show you today, we're back to those felt trees that I keep referring to from the craft stores. This is the model that they're using this year. It's a little bit cuter. It's a little more round. It looks more like a tree. But I made these stars in Microsoft Word, and just with a little shapes tool or whatever it is, and I just made them yellow, and I typed in the word, and it's super simple. I printed them. Cutting them out was a little tricky. I made quite a few. I would never put this many in one station. I would probably break this up into 3 different stations. And then at the Dollar Tree, they have these small little ornaments for trees. Now, I will tell y'all in advance, this is a booger to write all the letters on there. You have to have a really steady hand. Since these are round, it's very tricky to write the letters. But once you do, hopefully they stay for a while. They don't rub off. Mine have been there for a year now, and they still look pretty good. But the kids will put the star anywhere on the tree. They're getting to decorate it, and then they have to build the sight word. And I would always make mine start with the first letter, so they don't memorize how to spell it the wrong way. So I would tell them to start with an S, E, C. And they would do the same thing for me. M, E, me. And they're gonna roll, they're gonna end up on the floor. Y'all are gonna just have to be okay with that. There will be everywhere, but the kids will love this game. And the tree does get full pretty quick, so I teach mine after you make 4 or 5 words, whatever you can get to fit, take them off and trade them out for your other stars. And I would put maybe 12 to a game, maybe 10. And then I would just do a tree in a different tub with different words so it doesn't get so overwhelming. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, and comment below, and stay tuned for more Christmas videos. I also forgot to mention, if you guys are fans of the Christmas book Mistletoe, these are perfect to wear while you read it. The kids will be obsessed. I got them at Five and Below. See you guys soon.